Hey, welcome back to the G-Man Show. I've got Marty Kaiser here. We're still talking real estate. We're talking buyers. Buyers are so important to every single market. Without a buyer, there's not a seller. So, Marty, welcome back.
Thanks,
How's it
Greg.
been? How's things?
Great, thank you. I'm excited. It's a new year. Got a lot of energy. Get off running and stay strong.
Perfect. Good. Now, tell me this. We've talked about a transition year. So buyers are going to be in the market thinking of getting deals, getting a bargain. You've got a blueprint for sellers. You've also got a blueprint for buyers. Tell me about the blueprint for buyers, because I think it's really important you have like a whole team around them, I figure.
Well, buyers is a little bit more informationally based. Of course, a lot of it depends upon the buyer's position in life, meaning are they a first-time buyer, are they an experienced buyer, or are they an investor? Investors, pretty much, you just need to get their criteria and see if you align what their expectations are with what you feel is realistic. First-time buyers require the most time, and they're the most rewarding because you're able to let somebody achieve their goal and objective of owning a home. But because they're inexperienced with it, a lot of the variables they're not familiar with. So you really have to establish a rapport with them. You know, one of the first things, of course, is to verify what type of mortgage they're qualified for. And that's always a sensitive topic, so I don't bring that up necessarily first because people don't like you digging into their finances.
Yeah.
But ultimately, that's a very important criteria. Secondly, is the typical buyer's expectations. Commute time to work, school systems if they have children, lifestyle adjustments, all the things that go into it. What size home you want, what upgrades do you have to have.
Yeah.
But it all relates back to what price range can they afford. So that all ties in together. And some things you're going to spend more time on with buyers to make sure that they're in sync with you on what their expectations and knowledge is. And I feel it's crucial that you and the buyers establish a rapport. It's like a short-term marriage, I always say.
Yeah, it really is.
You know, you're going to be working with them anywhere from 2 weeks to a year.
Yes.
And so they need to understand why you're suggesting things and what the things are that you're looking for based on their criteria.
So you've got this perfect buyer, first time buyer, second time buyer, whatever it is, they're qualified, ready to go. You know the criteria, you've found several homes to show them. They find the perfect home. You've now got to structure the offer. And there's more to an offer than just the price. So how do you kind of go through that process with the buyer?
Well, there's a lot of variables with that. So I'm probably overly anal, as I say. So I've done a lot of preparatory work before I sit down with the buyer to discuss structuring an offer. So for example, how long has that seller owned the home? What purchase price did they pay for it? How much do they owe on the home? How long has the home been on the market? And how strong is that neighborhood? So those are the things that I start off with. Then I also start off with how many other choices are out there for the buyer. If the buyers looked with me, let's say for 2 months, and they've looked at 40 homes, and this is the first one they really liked, I might give them a different suggestion. I also then need to discuss the normal things like inspection periods, what an inspector's looking for, a termite inspection. If there's any other inspections they need, most homes now you need a 4-point inspection, which relates to the roof and plumbing and electrical, etc. How quickly does the buyer want to close? What size deposit we're going to utilize. There's just a lot of things that go into an offer. And my suggestions are going to vary based on the property, the location, and the buyer's particular situation.
So one thing you brought up there was the 4-point inspection, the wind mitt. A lot of people may not understand what that is, but it's a crucial thing now for older homes because we are struggling to get insurance on these properties, which actual fact can really blow a deal because if there's a loan involved, can't get insurance, there's no purchase. Tell me what's happening with, what do you see on the streets with insurance and homeowners insurance?
Well, insurance is probably one of the top 2 or 3 challenges we deal with on any residential transaction where the roof is past a certain age. The insurance industry in Florida, and pardon me for saying this, is in a state of complete chaos. The people that regulate insurance in Florida have done a horrible job. This is not a new thing, it's just continually getting worse. And perception is the legislature and the governor or whatever make these modifications, but they really have had little impact and have not really helped the consumers. So when I'm showing a person a house that they really like, and let's say the roof is anywhere from maybe 13 to 19 years old, the roof is could be a particular issue. So I explain this to the buyers. I even suggest before we contract that they make a couple calls to some insurance companies, and I'll give them names of people I recommend, just so they have a better understanding. Because if I tell somebody this, it doesn't have the impact as an insurance company telling them this.
Sure.
And it may or may not blow up a deal. A lot of it's going to depend too on if that seller has been educated by their agent on the roof being an issue for them selling the house, and what solutions can that seller offer to make sure the deal goes to closing. So it's crucial.
No, it really is. Polybutylene pipe's an issue. If you got the older roof and the polybutylene, good luck getting insurance, I would say. Once you've got past the insurance issue, you're under contract, you've done your inspections. Now what happens? You're moving forward to closing. How are you coaching the buyer as you go through that process?
Well, a couple of things, and the lenders probably told them this too. The buyer should not take on any new debt.
Yes.
That's crucial. Assuming they've approved the inspection, then I've educated them about the appraisal. You never are overly confident the appraisal is going to come in. I do my best to give them my assessment of the house's true value and how that should relate to an appraisal. But appraisals are subjective. You might get 3 appraisers looking at the same house with 3 different values.
Yes.
So as a buyer's agent, it's not my job to help the appraiser.
Nope.
So I can't influence them at all. If I'm a seller's agent, it's a different issue on how I try to work in hand with the appraiser. So I do try to educate them on that. We try to put clauses in the contract that should, for some unlikely reason, we get a negative appraisal, the buyer has options.
Yes.
And if we can't renegotiate, so to speak, the buyer always would have the option of canceling then. I try to make sure that in a normal market, the buyer's deposit's never at risk due to anything that we've done in structuring their offer.
And that's what I like a lot. I see a lot of deals come across my desk where people are giving up escrow deposits. I've just seen one for $50,000, primarily because it was an outside agent's mistake. So you're protecting the buyer at every single step through the process. You've helped them find the house, you've gone through inspections, they've got financing, they've got insurance, they've closed on the property. Super happy buyer, super happy customer. How does the next customer get hold of you to buy a home with you, Marty?
Well, the best ways are 2 ways. My phone number, which they can either call or text, is 407-595-9700. And my email address is marty@floridasells.com.
So let me tell you this, if you want to get the best agent in Hunters Creek or Lake Nona to work with you, call Marty. He's a super, super good guy, knows his stuff inside out. Thanks for watching the G-Man Show. We'll be right back.